I mean, folks, I've been going down a rabbit hole understanding the symbolism of the coat of arms when it's provided. Initially, a coat of arms should be provided to the family of, let's say, Meghan Markle or Nut. And then that family's coat of arms then joins a conjugal coat of arms with the husband, well, the heir, or the son of a sovereign, or child of the heir apparent, whatever it may be. But there's usually whoever's in line to the throne and has their own coat of arms already, it's then joined as a conjugal coat of arms. But I'm going to break that down so you can understand that I just purely based on what I'm finding out about these coat of arms, I do not at all believe that Nut legally married Todge. I mean, there's so many questions anyway, and gaps there. So it's not just this, but this is quite important because symbolism in the royal family. It's not just symbolism. Coat of arms are important identities. It's what history will tell you, what identifies you as your background, as your origins. In England, especially, all the liveries and the City of London have coat of arms done by this very person who did these coat of arms. So it's extremely important. It's probably one of the most strictly legal things as well. This is why I find it funny when people tell me anyone can copy these coat of arms or the crown used to signify children of the sovereign or heir apparent or whatever, which has been approved by royal warrant by the Queen or by a previous monarch, for example, in 1917. There's no way that you can just copy things. There's also trademark. Trademark is used very, very strictly in regards to the royal family. You can't just identify yourself as a royal family if you're not connected to the royal family, and you have to go through legal process. So when you say to me that that evil cows, copied and pasted and anyone can do it, I can do it. It's frankly laughable, because it's not how things work, and all you need to do is a bit of research to understand that. So I'm going to go through a document that was just very quickly. That was produced by royal.uk, by the royal family, by the monarchy, regarding the wedding souvenirs of Nut and Todge, because straight away it tells you about the coat of arms used for Todge and Todge only. They only talk about that regarding the souvenirs. They don't talk about a conjugal coat of arms, which is really interesting, because any souvenirs that you'd be buying should be having the conjugal coat of arms. I know that, though, that's usually produced after marriage has taken place. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look into that as well. What souvenirs were shown at the time when someone was married, like Prince William and Princess Catherine, when they were married, on their souvenirs, what coat of arms were on there. So that's also a point to make. But anyway, I want to tell you here the law regarding using coat of arms. You have to use a current coat of arms. So at the moment, the one that's being shown on the website of Todge and Nut is not their conjugal coat of arms. It's actually, so you can't use that as the office of Todge and Nut. It's actually Nut's supposed coat of arms only. So, but it's also not current because the crown used is the crown of the child of the heir apparent, which would be the child of Prince Charles, not the son of a sovereign, the son of King Charles. So it's outdated, and it was approved 25th of May 2018, 4 days, was it 4 days after the marriage, or was it May the 19th, so 6 days after the marriage. So it was, it's outdated as we speak. So then to put that on a website, February 2024, will definitely be done by the royal family, because you would need, no one can just use that in America. Nut can't use whatever the hell she wants in America, and maybe you're going to blame it on the fact that she's only using her coat of arms. Yeah, but it's under the office of Todge and Nut, the six or whatever in line to the throne, and the top four a councillor of state. No. So let's have a read here. Under normal circumstances, the use of royal arms, which are so similar as to deceive in connection with any trade or business, or to suggest that the person is employed by a member of a royal family, which would be that you're employed, anyway, that you'd be somehow related or connected to the royal family, is prohibited by the Trademarks Act 1994 unless the permission of the member of the royal family concerned has been obtained. So any of their tours, with costs that ensue, is technically, it's a business unless it's being a working royal, right? So legally they would have no leg to stand on right now. Well, they wouldn't be using the coat of arms, any coat of arms that were approved by royal warrant by Her Majesty the Queen, who's now passed. No, it wouldn't be possible. There's even laws down here that you must use the current coat of arms when you do have permissions to legally use the coat of arms. Anyway, it's prohibited by the Trademarks Act 1994 unless the permission of the member of the royal family concerned has been obtained. So they would need permission, or you wouldn't need permission, or you won't be using it. The Lord Chamberlain's office will be pleased to provide guidance when it is unclear as to whether the use of royal arms, etc., may give the impression that there is a royal connection. There you go. So the full coat of arms needs to be produced. Prince Harry's personal standard and cipher may not be used on any souvenirs, containers, or packaging. So the cipher and the standard is, I'm sure, the actual initials and the insignia that I am talking about when they're using it from the website Sussex Royal and all of their stationery. So then that would be obviously controlled as well by Kensington Palace. Arms and approved photographs. Correct versions of Prince Harry's arms should be used. Colour examples may be given in lieu of payment by application to Garter, King of Arms, College of Arms, etc. They are the College of Arms and Garter, King of Arms is the place that the only authority to create these arms. That's how serious it is. So let's move on from here. First step moving forward is helping you and helping all of us understand how coat of arms is created upon marriage into the royal family. So on the 19th of April 2011, which is, 2 days prior to the wedding of Princess Catherine and Prince William, the coat of arms for the Middleton family were given. And this is not what is shown as the coat of arms for Nut and Todge. I'll get to that. But it's given to the actual family. It represents the family that's coming into the royal family. And it represents the family as a whole. It doesn't represent one person like Nut or Catherine. It represents their families and their origins, especially where they were born and brought up, and also other siblings, and the surnames, the maiden name of Nut's mother, which she should proudly represent, right? Considering her Nigerian descent and how proud she is as a biracial Nigerian, Maltese, Scottish, Dutch, American woman, white and black woman. So, she should be proud of representing that, and that should be a part of her coat of arms. So anyway, let's explain here that, I'll show you the coat of arms so you can understand more as well. So here it says every coat of arms has been designed to identify a person, school, or organization and to last forever. Heraldry is Europe's oldest, most visual and strictly regulated form of identity, and it surrounds us in Britain, giving clues to our history and surroundings. After her marriage, Catherine Middleton will place her father's arms beside those of her husband in what is known as an impaled coat of arms. I will show you what an impaled coat of arms should look like compared to what Nut's coat of arms is. This This will require a royal warrant from the Queen, so royal approval from the Queen, to certify it. The grant of arms, so that would mean as well, if Nut was to be using the coat of arms, which they are now, in the UK, she would need the Queen's approval. Since Her Majesty the Queen has passed, then it would obviously be, I'm guessing, the King, and the King would need to approve it, otherwise it would not be used. So, you can decide some things based on that. The grant of arms has been made to Mr. Michael Middleton and his descendants in accordance with the laws of arms. So all of his 3 children, including Catherine, are entitled to the arms. So they can use the coat of arms. So Nut's family should have a coat of arms as well. I don't know though, like within the coat of arms laws, if it's allowed to have a non-royal kind of, and I'm not trying to be racist at all. I actually just don't know. I don't know if an American family can actually have a coat of arms. I'm pretty sure. Well, I would assume you would have to be born and bred in Britain, because this is a coat of arms, law or legal under Britain's laws, and it's all like kind of like laws under the Crown, which is really quite big. So I'm not sure how that works, but so this is the coat of arms that Princess Catherine was gifted. Now, the 3 acorns represent the 3 children of the Middleton family. The gold represents, is a Goldstein, the maiden surname of Catherine's mother. The colours red and blue represent Prince William, Scotland, Ireland, and Britain. Oh, yeah. The blue is for Ireland, and I'm sure it is the blues for Ireland. Oh no, it'd be Scotland as well, I think, wouldn't it? Anyway, the British will know the colours. Yeah, so it's to mark the coming together. Obviously, she has a coat of arms because she's marrying into the family. But yes, this is, see how this is not an actual full, in a way, a full coat of arms. How you will see it with the, the lion and the unicorn on the side and the grass underneath, and a shield or 2 shields in the middle, with a lion and a crown up the top. It's not like that fully ornate kind of coat of arms, because that is a conjugal coat of arms when you marry into the royal family, let's say. Before you're married, this is the coat of arms that you receive. And this is the singular, independent, individual coat of arms that the wife and her family receives. That's not by blood related to the royal family. So please bear that in mind. So this is what it looks like when, after the marriage of Princess Catherine and Prince William, the conjugal coat of arms is then gifted and used for Princess Catherine and Prince William as the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. See how they said Miss Catherine Middleton? That was her coat of arms. Now this is the coat of arms for the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. It's, I'm sure, now outdated as well, because it uses the crown, the same crown as what Nut and Todge are currently using, and under the Kensington Palace Communications Office, of the children of the heir apparent. So that would be the former Prince Charles rather than King Charles now. So that being said, you can see that there's 2 shields. That's really, really important, because it's the joining of the 2 families, or joining of the 2 of Prince William to the left and Princess Catherine to the right. But it's just the shields alone. They still use the unicorn and the lion to represent the monarchy, and what the monarchy that is under Scotland, Ireland, and Britain. So you can see, I want you to be sure as well that the unicorn used on this side of Catherine, it's got the, how would you say, the collar. See, if you can see underneath the crown, there's a collar. And in this, they're saying that the red scallop shell, there's that pretty much red dot that you see on those collars, represent Princess Diana's coat of arms. But the 3 labels on each of the collars actually represent something as well. I will get to that later, but I just want you to focus on the fact that both Catherine and William both share the collar, not just the crown. I can explain to you now, which is actually making me kind of laugh. Yeah. The 3 labels on the white collar symbolize the heir to the throne. Basically the heir to the throne. So back in 2011, say, or 2013, or before Her Majesty the Queen's passing, Prince Charles was the heir to the throne. And Prince William should be having 5 labels on that collar, because he is the son. He is a son to. He's a son to the heir apparent, and that 5 labels represent that, because they're saying later on with Todger's coat of arms that's now outdated, that there's an error there because there's 5 labels on his collar when there should now be 3, because he is he's a son of the sovereign rather than son of the heir apparent. Have I got this? It's interesting. Okay, I mean, I'm having a conundrum because it's telling me here, you can see it there. He's got a 3-pointed collar because William is an heir to the throne. But then we're also getting the meaning of the 3-pointed collar would be a child to the heir apparent. Sorry, a child to the sovereign, not child to the heir apparent. I apologize. Child to the sovereign. Which either way, that would mean if you're a child to the sovereign with a 3-pointed collar, that would mean Prince William is a child to Queen Elizabeth, to Her Majesty the Queen, if that's true. The other version is if it symbolizes that he's an heir to the throne, that means that King Charles really never was heir to the throne. Okay, sorry, that was a bit of a mind-boggling situation. But still, it's not exactly what they're saying it is, or that this is questionable. So anyway, let's move on to Nut's coat of arms. This is the coat of arms that was gifted to Nut days after the wedding, which is very strange as it is, because as what happened with Catherine, if we go back to that example, that was given days before the wedding, and then after the wedding, a conjugal coat of arms is then given that represent both the identity of Todge and the identity of Nut, as it happened with Prince William and Princess Catherine. Now, this is the coat of arms given to Nut as an individual days after. Was it days after the wedding? I'll get back to the actual statement provided by the royal.uk website. Now, this is the thing. The songbird, which is, of course, her mouth's open, it represents communication and the power of words. So you can already see that by 2018, approved by Her Majesty the Queen, that this was Nut's identity. She was always going to be this political representation of what was to come in the US. The orange flowers are supposedly Californian flowers, and the golden lines on her shield is meant to represent the sunshine, the Californian sunshine, and the 3 feathers are also to represent, I think, California or communication or some shit like that. But you can see that this is not, that her identity is the crown's identity, is the, well, in a way partial, but really it's showing that her identity is connected to Her Majesty the Queen's reign, because this is still like, 2018. This is now being used in their website, by the way. So that crown is child of the heir apparent. Yeah. But she shouldn't be having this whole crest, so this whole coat of arms rather than a crest. She shouldn't be having this as her own individual identity. It should be that small little shield, pretty much, or what will become a shield, but like a little kind of medal, that sort of scalloped medal kind of look with a ribbon or whatever. And it's meant to have, if we are specific and technical, it should just have really the feathers and the gold, but it also should have red to represent England, represent Britain and Todge, but it doesn't. So it's not actually fully representing the monarchy. And if you're to use this as the conjugal coat of arms, then it's incorrect as well, because that bird shouldn't be there. The unicorn should be there. She's also not wearing, as I was trying to point out before, she's not wearing the collar. So she's not even in representation of Princess Diana. That's one. And that side of the family. But she's also not representing the monarchy in full. So they know that she really isn't, I don't see them as married, or that she's exactly joining the firm. I think she was always represented as an individual who was going to be this political representation, because that's all this communicates, all this, the messaging and the symbolism only messages that she is a political figure that's kind of working in tandem with Todge. But this is not a conjugal coat of arms of marriage. This was provided as Miss Meghan Markle. So this was given to her rather than her family. So it was to really, when we think about the 3 feathers, that should actually represent 3 children. So I wonder if that is actually about the three children of Thomas Markle and Doria Ragland. But it also should symbolize, anyway, it should be symbolizing much more than just that as well. I know this is a bit of a whirlwind, and I'm, still trying to figure this out, but I hope you just get the gist of this. You can see that the statement given about the coat of arms, that was done on the 25th of May 2018, so it's after the wedding. And it's to Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex, the coat of arms. So this is actually meant to be the conjugal coat of arms, but it's also only representative of Meghan, of Duchess of Sussex. So this is why I don't believe they were ever married, because by symbolism and by their own laws, by the monarchy and the crown's own laws, this isn't actually representing a marriage, a royal marriage. The coat of arms has been created for the Duchess of Sussex. The design of the arms was agreed by Her Majesty the Queen and Mr. Thomas Woodcock. Her Royal Highness worked closely with the College of Arms, What I find interesting is that they technically lie in this statement and tell you that the symbol of the impaled shield or shields, and the arms of a married woman should be impaled with those of her husband. That's not necessarily true. So Prince William and Princess Catherine have their two arms side by side, but joined, like as in they cross over each other. But under the umbrella of the monarchy, so the unicorn and the lion, so it's all in all impaled into the monarchy. But they're not meant to be in the same shield. And so they're kind of blurring the lines between the conjugal coat of arms and Meghan Markle's individual coat of arms that has been given, whereas they actually didn't provide a conjugal coat of arms for Nut and Todge after the wedding. Can you believe that? So this is the only thing they have, and that's why they're using it for Sussex.com. And it's Nut's individual coat of arms, and yet they're kind of like blur the lines between Todge and Nut's identity, but it's not really under the crown, the monarchy. If you can see the coat of arms, it doesn't have the lion above the crown, because it's not meant to be representative of a conjugal coat of arms. And they're meant to have the two arms or shields, side by side, kind of, not colliding, but blending in with kind of one another, not one shield or one arm mixed together. So that statement isn't true. Yeah. When you search for conjugal coat of arms or coat arms, Duchess, Duke of Sussex, royal.uk, this is what you're going to get. There's the conjugal coat of arms for the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, which was given after their wedding on 27th of September 2013, so actually quite long after their wedding. But see, they've only got Nut's coat of arms, and there's no actual coat of arms. And you see here on Wikipedia, which is the only thing that's been represented, it's like a Photoshop version. It's not even the same sort of, it's not done by that authority. Definitely not. And it's just been created by somebody and they put it on Wikipedia. They say combined coat of arms. They don't say the conjugal coat of arms of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. And it's also not approved and authorised by through royal warrant by the Queen, Her Majesty the Queen. That didn't happen. From my knowledge, this is only what I've seen. So if we click on here, this is the supposed coat of arms. You can see everything they kind of should have. That's funny because that crown is now child of a sovereign. And do you see how the collars have changed to 3 labels? I find that interesting. Maybe this has been approved by the king, but see, if you actually go down the coat of arms, usually this is actually, it says that this was approved by royal warrant and the year and who by. I don't think this doesn't make any sense. I don't think. For one, that's not her coat of arms, the shield itself. She has a songbird. She has all of that. It doesn't really make any sense. But I just wanted to point that out as well, that I don't think this is correct either, because it's not the actual coat of arms that was approved by Her Majesty the Queen. It's just the feathers with the shield. That's not the full coat of arms. But then again, that was an odd coat of arms as well. You wouldn't have any representation of Todge in there. That would mean her identity and her origins is under Todge and the monarchy. Well, you and I both know that that's pretty accurate. But yeah, I think it's interesting. It's very, very, very interesting. So now I want to take you to the new website and to show you that the only coat of arms that is shown is Nutt's coat of arms. That was approved by royal warrant by Her Majesty the Queen by 25th of May 2018. And that has the crown that is now outdated. And again, this whole coat of arms is very, very questionable. But it's interesting that this is now being used as the office of Todge and Nutt. First of all, they will need approval by the palace, by the king, I think directly. But also, it's almost like they knew in future that this would be used to represent Nutt and Todge. Otherwise, why would you have Todge's identifiers at all in this coat of arms? I just find that really interesting that's now, obviously this is approved by the royal family and by the monarchy. And then on top of it, you have questions as to why this happened in the first place, because this is not how it's meant to look. I've just shown you how Prince Catherine's Middleton family coat of arms is meant to look. It's meant to represent the family purely, and her and Princess Catherine's heritage and origins. And it's meant to do the same for Nutt and Nutt alone. So then to have this is a future planning. And you can see how this is being used now with the approval of the British royal family. Thanks, guys.